Hi there. It's Joy Lindquist again here to talk with you about the experience I had last Saturday with the Reach Out to Dropout program. It was a combination of the United Way and the Des Moines Public Schools, those two organizations working together in an effort to re-engage students into school. And we had a whole list of dropouts, people who have either never attended or this year or have attended a few days and dropped out. And we had we had volunteers at every single one of the comprehensive high schools in Des Moines. And I actually attended the Lincoln experience. And we had about 11 teams at Lincoln, and there were 5 or 6 people on each team. I had the privilege in my team of being with Terry Caldwell Johnson, who's one of our school board members, as well as the vice principal, one of the vice principals at Lincoln, and Dawn Pilon, and she actually is considered unofficially the principal of the 9th grade academy. We also had a community volunteer from Wells Fargo. We had WHO a radio person, I guess, and covering it. And we also had a United Way representative. So it was a good mix. And what we did is we went around in my car and we stopped at all the houses of the people who were on our list. We knocked on the door. We told them who we were and what our purpose was, that we wanted to re-engage the student in the household, get them back signed up. We actually had people back at every high school ready to serve as counselors and get them signed back up for school. We did not, we went to 6 houses and we didn't end up seeing a single student. So we were able to have some good conversations with 2 sets of parents, and it's our hope that those parents will take the re-engagement numbers and information that we gave them and follow up with their children and hopefully get them re-engaged. One of the students that we visited had already gone and gotten his GED and had a job. So even though that student's still considered a dropout, the student does have the GED. So overall, the educational goal, I guess that's better than not having the GED at all. I guess some of the key learnings that I experienced, or that I took away from this experience, again, and I talked about before the visit with the training session, is I was very impressed that every single person, and there were over 300 volunteers that participated, every one of the volunteers participated in a training session ahead of time. I think we could have, looking back on it now, had a little more training on what exactly to say to the families. We should have maybe gone through some role plays or something like that to find out, if they say this, we should say that. Just what are all the possibilities of what we can say to re-engage those kids. The other thing I took from that is United Way did a great job of contacting every household to let them know that we'd be there between 8 and noon. But what that did was, one, some of them just who didn't want us there, they were not there when we showed up. And so, and that is disappointing and too bad, because maybe we could have talked them into getting back into school. The other thing is, if they didn't talk to someone, they just left a message and said we'd be there. And I guess that I wish they would have, instead of just leaving a message, continued to call back until they actually talked to someone. I think one of the families that we talked with, had someone actually said, "I want your child home," I don't think they would have sent the kid over to a friend's house. So when we showed up at this house, these parents were really eager to talk with us about getting their son back into school, but the son was at a friend's house. It would have been nice to get to talk with him personally. I guess, let's see. I really like the home visits. I took this away, and I've talked to some other principals. I know that our Hyatt principals, they actually are in the turnaround zone and have new uniforms and new policies this year. And our principal and vice principal at Hyatt did a home visit to every single one of their students over the summertime. I think there is a lot of value in sitting in the homes of our students, talking one-on-one, so we seem like a real person who cares about them, not just the principal or the vice principal. And so I was thinking about, we were making all these home visits on Saturday, and I was thinking about how much value they had. So I was talking with some follow-up questions with other principals to find out if anyone actually did that, as I guess to try to get people from dropping out in the first place, rather than as a reaction to what has happened. And I know that they've had some success with that at Hyatt, so it's just something that I might want to consider in the future. I know that building relationships is really key in making things successful and meeting our educational goals, so that's something to consider. I guess overall, describing the event, if we get any kids signed back up into school, and I know there were a few who did come even to Lincoln that day, then it's all worthwhile. Really, what I think about most is not just that individual student who didn't graduate, but what I think about is the potential family or head of household someone might be. For example, a student who doesn't graduate doesn't necessarily and is still likely to still likely to become a father or a mother, and then the value that places on education if mom or dad didn't graduate for the whole family is just not really what we want to help move our community forward and our state forward. And so for me, I guess it's not just about that one family, that one student. To me, it's about all the future children that individual could have, and a spouse that individual could have, and the impact that individual or his or her family can have on the entire community. So that's why I volunteered, and I got some really good experience and got to talk to a lot of neat people working for our district and in our community, and I got some good experience on what some of the families are dealing with in trying to get their kids graduated. There are some challenges, and as school leaders, we need to be ready for those challenges. All right, thanks. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye.